He looks like a Fallout New Vegas character. He kind of does, yeah. They're literally all pedos and Nazis, not a beat missed on how they're just all plain evil. Yeah, no one, to my knowledge, no one has dropped support of Mark Robinson either. Because, like, again, on the back end, they all know what they're like. Like, Republican politicians all know that they're Nazis and pedophiles. It's not a secret to them. They're aware of it, you know? They're not morally outraged by any of this. It's just whether or not it comes out publicly. But now it doesn't even matter if it comes out publicly. Madison Cawthorn knew. Madison Cawthorn, okay, God, that was so funny, dude. He's the wheelchair, muscly, like, Hitler dipshit. The guy who was like 15 and raped a bunch of college girls. I might be misremembering, but I'm probably not. He was, well, yeah, the one who his cousin. When he got into the halls of power and he was like, yeah, I was disgusted by the degeneracy that I saw. A lot of these Republican politicians are actually sex fiends and pedophiles. And then immediately a gigantic like leak on him dropped, including the cousin thing, because in a lot of ways, like, the entire GOP is like Jeffrey Epstein, in the sense that you get drunk, you go to an Epstein party, and then you wake up next to a 14-year-old and you look up over you and Epstein is there with a camera. And now you do whatever he says. And the whole GOP works like this to an extent, right? They all knew about the cousin thing of Madison Cawthorn because they're all freaks, because all Nazis are freaks, all of them. But then, like, the mistake Madison Cawthorn made was that he hypocritically pointed out the other Republicans being sex freaks, to which they were like, wait, no, we don't want like a narc in our Nazi pedophile community. We don't want that shit. That's a huge liability. We have to make sure he loses his re-election. He's only going to be a one-term congressman. And then a bunch of shit drops in him from nowhere. And no one announces the source of the leak. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. They leaked photos of him cross-dressing and then he lost. He genuinely would not have lost if they didn't leak the cross-dressing thing. Yeah, no, it's genuinely crazy, but that's how it is. And the reason they're like that is because they're all sex fiends, you know? It's crazy. There's always a cross-dressing pic. Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with cross-dressing. It's just these people are hypocrites. It's like Mark Robinson, you know? He's virulently anti-trans. He wants trans people dead. And then you go see his porn forum posts and he's like, yeah, I love... Okay. I mean, we all know what you're like. It's just, I guess, thank you for the reminder. Yeah, I love Flicker Goonie. Holy shit, he's powerful. Have you seen this? I don't really care what Cards of Humanity does because I think that they're cringe, but popular card game company suing SpaceX over alleged land damage. This is super based. When SpaceX fucked up that rocket launch and sprayed concrete everywhere within like 20 square miles, that damaged a bunch of property. I'm surprised there haven't been more lawsuits. In 2021, the Daily Beast reported on a confession letter written by Gaetz associate Joel Greenberg. In the note, Greenberg claimed Gaetz paid him to arrange sex with several women and a girl who at the time was 17. Greenberg is currently serving an 11-year sentence after his conviction on several charges, including sex trafficking with a child. Remember when this happened and then nothing happened? Remember when Anthony Weiner got dropped from Congress over comparatively nothing, and then a person convicted of sex trafficking wrote a letter saying, listen, here's like evidence that a sitting congressman also sex trafficked. And then nothing happened. That was cool. Like the Epstein papers that have also gone nowhere. Hey, if you enjoyed nothing, then get ready for our hit sequel, Absolutely Nothing. Refill your popcorn buckets because you're going to enjoy this next Absolutely Nothing. Nothing ever nothings. No territory, because the people who thought they were overusing the word Nazi back in the Gamergate days were themselves like Nazis. They do this with me too, where it's like, you know, what I've noticed, by the way, I call people Nazis more than ever. Fewer people today say, oh, Vosh, the guy who calls everyone a Nazi, because I just ended up being right. This isn't me being a huge brain kind of guy. It's like very obvious. I just feel like everyone else was a pussy about calling it out. It was obvious. A ton of these people are just Nazis. It's not like a super secret. It's not Nazism isn't like a minute super duper esoteric ideology. It was a predominant ideology, and the underlying ideology, fascism, is maybe the most common ideology on earth. Fascist thought is probably more common and more represented around the world than liberal democratic thought is. So the idea of like, bro, are you really telling me that these people who nonstop rail against the inclusion of minorities in media are extremely fearful about immigration to the point of like widespread lying about alleged crimes that may or may not have happened and overstating them to the extent that they're not ever talking about anything bad white people ever do, talking about a secret nefarious group of people in media that conspire to like demonize white people and like, oh, what you're telling me these people might be Nazi? You're calling everyone a Nazi. You're calling everyone a Nazi. That's crazy. Why would you call this person a Nazi just for doing and saying exactly what a Nazi would do in that situation? Come on. And then it's, you know, it's likewise with the pedocon theory, which isn't a theory. It's a fact. It's a theory the way gravity is a theory. And now nobody says, oh, Vosh, he calls everyone a Nazi because all the people I called Nazis went and admitted it. Well, not all of them, but they will. Hitler did drink water, though. I haven't seen any video evidence. The filings cite affidavits based on 3 witness testimonies which remain sealed, which put the Florida congressman at the party, according to notice. One witness cited by the filings said the girl, a high school junior, was naked and said people were there to engage in sexual activities while drugs including cocaine and ecstasy were present. How should we argue against people who sneer at accusing white right-wingers of being fascist/Nazi? Well, the person you're arguing with in this case is likely a fascist or a Nazi, so I don't know if you're going to convince them. They probably know they're lying. Should we pull up 14 points and go through them? I've been doing this for like 5.5 years, and I don't think I've ever convinced a person by pulling up the 14 arguments. Liberals could use a refresher on what fascism actually is. Fascism is when I don't like somebody. There you go. We got a working definition that I'm comfortable with. I'll show you the true face of fascism.
Oop, I'm trying to grab him. He keeps running. Ruben.
Wow. Look at this little guy.
He's like, why are you leaving?
Look at this little guy. Little weirdo. What are you looking at? Ghosts? What? Oh yeah, can I have coffee? That's okay, I did too. What? Don't know, this shirt's expensive. What? No! Be free. Have you ever held a cat in your life? Listen, he's small and wiggly, okay? I'm sorry if this is awkward, but I just noticed you're skinnier than ever. Thank you. It's true. I think I'm nearly at 200, which is crazy, but like, you know.